It's 2023 and you're watching the first review from the Ruby Tuesday. It's called Kaleidoscope. There are 8 episodes around 50 minutes mark. There's a short one with 36 minutes. You're probably not understanding what this series is, except for it's going to be a drama about a heist. There's so much more that goes into it, some a little bit gimmicky, but is it worth your while? Let's find out. Kaleidoscope is centered around the largest heist ever attempted, the vengeance and betrayals that surround it. This is actually based on a heist that happened, so they're taking the ideas of what happened with this heist, like billions of bonds that were stolen supposedly during a big hurricane, and they've taken that and then added a gimmick, which is you will get to watch these episodes or this series in your own algorithm chosen by Netflix. So whatever your algorithm is doing on Netflix, what I watched will probably be different to you. And so there's various different colors. They don't even number the episodes, it's just by color, and then it basically says 6 months before or 6 months after, or the heist, kind of piecing together the story of these characters that spans over 24 years. I saw an interview with one of the actors who said when he went into this, he thought that perhaps that they were doing this gimmick and he wasn't sure if it was going to work. But after having been in it and having filmed everything and then watching it back like a different episode in a different order, he found that it did work. I'm not of the same mind, because there are certain plot points that come to be revealed if you're watching them in certain orders that will take away from the mystery of what's happened. It's more like an anthology, I think, is how they describe it. It's an anthology of these episodes of this heist, and it's also quite depressing, which I wasn't expecting. I was hoping it was going to be something similar to an Ocean's 11 TV series or a Whodunit TV series, but then you get to be happy at the end of it. It is a drama, but for me, I was quite depressed when I reached the end. It wasn't how I wanted the fruition to be of the series. Now, that's not to say I didn't enjoy it, because once I started watching it, I watched it all the way through. I didn't expect me to stay up till 3 in the morning watching this. So the ending for me wasn't what I wanted, and I think some people will be confused about the ending. What shines here is the way it's filmed, the way it's pieced together, each episode having its own color palette, depicting a certain time or how the heist comes together. That is what's going to draw you in. And then what's going to keep you watching is the acting performances. So you have an eclectic group of people that come together to steal billions of bonds. You have Ava Mercer, Judy Godwin, Stan Loomis, Giancarlo Esposito, who plays Leo Pup, the leader of the heist group. And one of the extras that on IMDb is mentioned that he's just in one episode. No, he is one of the team. Jai Courtney's character, Bob Goodwin, is a character that you're going to love to hate. If it wasn't for Gino Esposito, who plays the leader, I would have said that he is the best actor. His presence every time he steps on screen, he's the guy that your eye is drawn to watch what is unfolding behind him, from being depressed to crying to emotionally controlling the group to being that guy that seems like he has all the plans and knows everything 6 moves ahead. That is what our character portrays. But then you have Jai Courtney, who plays the guy that is very explosive, very angry, and he plays that grumbly dude really well. A lot of presence. You hate him immediately. And then there's an episode where he has to not speak for a while. I won't say why, but the way he plays that, I was just like, this is the different level. I wasn't expecting this from this character. So when it's pieced together like that, the performances from all of our characters, and there's a lot more of the actors and actresses that you'll recognize some of them and go, oh, wait a minute, I know that person. Yeah, they're fantastic. Rosaline Elby, Paz Vega, all fantastically bringing performances. The series also gives a lot of time to giving backstories for each of our cast members, mostly. A couple of them we don't get that much time with, but some of them we do understand why they are, or who they are, the way they tick, because of a certain backstory or how they were brought up. There's an FBI agent storyline that's kind of following in the footsteps, trying to catch this group, which is also a very dark storyline, and her storyline was very interesting. The issue I have with it is that I don't think it needed to be 8 episodes. And some people will probably correct me. It's got Ruben, it's 9 episodes. There's that Black. Yeah, there's Black. It's literally an introduction. It's not considered an episode. So 8 episodes. I feel like it could have been 4. So although I thoroughly enjoyed it, I feel like they took too much time drawing out certain scenes, giving us too much detail, and when we wanted more detail, didn't give us that detail. They relied on the gimmick of each episode almost being its own thing, its own storyline, so you can watch it in any position. In any episode, you can watch the end one or the beginning one. The best episode for me was the heist. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted an episode of backstory. I wanted an episode of how they're going to go do it, an episode of the heist, and an episode after. 4 episodes, done and dusted. That would have worked perfectly. But because they draw a lot of it out, there are things that we didn't need to know, things that just felt like exposition of characters that weren't really part of the major arc, but they felt like they needed to pad more of the story, didn't really need to go in there. So although I loved finding out about those characters, it just felt like it could have been 6 episodes, and maybe I'm being harsh in saying 4. 6 would have been easily long enough, because I think the performances are fantastic. The way it's filmed, the idea of doing something new and different with the medium, I love all that. Performances, dialogue, story was interesting. I definitely guessed the twist that I guess they were hoping that you wouldn't guess or get. I got it pretty much the first time. I thought this is going to be the thing that happens, because that person wouldn't need to be in the story otherwise. What is the purpose of them being involved this way? And then when it was confirmed that way, I was like, ugh, I just wish there was something more. One of the things I get taught, or was taught as a writer, is when you're writing a story, a short story, I think it was my English teacher, and you're doing a mystery and you're doing the reveal, you need to have that reveal strong enough not for your audience to guess at the beginning. Medium, midway, towards the end would be great, but the big reveal, so that your audience feel rewarded, going, oh, I didn't see that coming, that's so cool, loved what you did there. Maybe it's just me because I've watched too much, so I understand plot devices and theories and how it goes. But as a one-time watch, it was an interesting mechanic, well acted, interesting story. I can't see myself ever going back, and I think that's the idea, that, oh, next time go watch it in a different order and see what you thought about it then. But the thing is, once you've found out what's going to happen to your characters, if that's the order you watch it, perhaps you watch the last episode first, or what happens to them 6 months after the heist, and then you watch the prequel, like the before the heist, and then you watch the actual heist. It's so gobbledygook all over the place that you just feel like you don't really care about the characters, because it's not trying to pinpoint your emotions towards those characters. But saying that, I did feel like, why are you doing that to my characters at the end? But I'm gonna give it 3.5 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
And you got one. Congratulations.
Overruled.
And you got one.
All over the place with this series. Let me know your thoughts about this series once you've seen it. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.